back.
Hello. um, yeah, before we get started, I want to just say that congratulations to Lisan for tonight. We spent an amazing night. He's the actual 2014 high jump national champion.
I know.
And he jumped 6'11".
6'11.25. But,
It's high.
7 was his ultimate thing. But we're not going to go there.
Right. So, national high jump champion, Christian, congratulations.
We love you.
We really do. All right. So, hence the reason I'm so tired. Anyway.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Wow. So let's continue where we left off, which was I was living in Ron's truck. You were living with Ron and Mo and staying in their basement. And we were going through quite a mess. And I was essentially having a lot of visions, and I went to a deep, dark, low place in my life, and I was just in a bad place, and what I had done, I was just sick over, and I was sick over hurting him, and he was just done, but the only person that I could talk to was Lee about what the spiritual things that was happening with me. Fighting myself, and I would send him an email about some things that were happening with me, and he would send me an email back, and he was very standoffish, but he was very friendly. And every now and then, he would come home from work, and I would still be there with Cameron, and he would walk past me and go down to the bottom level, and he wouldn't say anything. It was just very cold. And every now and then I would stop him and say, hey, something's going on with me, and I hope that maybe we can talk later. And he would be real standoffish about it, but there were times when he actually did talk with me, and I would let him know what was happening, and I would let him know about the visions I was having, and his mother started coming to me, and his mother's been passed for a while. And she was showing me how she held his hands from time to time. She would just double hold them. And I don't know why she was showing me that, but she was. And it was confusing me, and I didn't know. I thought maybe I was just batshit crazy. And I would tell him about it, and he would listen. And I was having these nightmares or dreams or journeys that was going on. And he would listen to me, and then we would go our separate ways. And this went on for
about 6 weeks.
Yeah. And I was still spending time at the little pub that was behind the house. And I can remember saying to her, on my birthday, actually, I can remember just all this crowd of people that I had just gotten to know over just a few weeks that I was in there, and it was my birthday, and I was crying, and I was sad, and people just buying me drinks, and it was so friendly. But I can remember saying to her, specifically saying to her, I'm going to bring him in here. I'm going to bring him in here one day. That's what I'm going to do. And she would look at me like, yeah, probably not. That's probably not going to happen, but okay, sure.
So I think what happened after about 6 weeks is...
Every time we record.
Every time. Mind you, never mind.
We never feed him or give him water until we're recording.
Apparently. So, Mike. Thank you.
Thanks.
So, 6 weeks, and my brother finds out that Sherry's been sleeping in a truck, and he says, well, she's going to stay here. And it was a really strange conversation because I said no, and he said, can't tell me what to do in my own house. And it's like, and I couldn't say anything because he was right. It was me and him no longer. Never mind. So anyway, Sherry starts staying there
Well, on the couch.
on the
On
couch.
Ron's couch.
Yep.
And you were sleeping downstairs, and I was sleeping on the couch, and Ron slept upstairs.
And Cameron wanted to sleep with you, but
Mm-hmm.
there was no space there. So,
He did from time to time
well,
on the
then
couch.
downstairs I had the bigger place. So
Right.
Cameron's like, "Mommy, you can come downstairs."
We'd spend time downstairs, and then there was
Cameron did say that a lot.
a
Mommy,
couple
come downstairs.
come downstairs. There was a couple. I remember one particular night in general that I was downstairs. Cameron wasn't down there, and I don't know why, but Leah and I were friends. We were just talking, and obviously I was sick over not having him in my life. But I can remember me. It was the way it was set up was he had two double beds down there, and they were 3 feet from one another. And Lee's an electronics guy, so he had this big TV set up. It looked like a theater down there. And, well, it's true. And
Like my toys.
maybe we were watching a movie. I don't know what we were doing, but he was keeping his distance, and I was over here, and he was over there. It was like an episode of I Love Lucy. And I can right. I can remember crying, and I can remember him saying, "What's wrong?" And I can remember just being so bitchy and saying, "What do you mean what's wrong? What do you mean what's wrong? You're over there and I'm over here. That's what's wrong." I threw that out there. It was just, and I can remember him saying, "Well, just come over here. Just come over here." But that's it. That's it. Just come over here and sleep. That's it. I mean, don't expect anything else, and I didn't. That was enough for me. I just wanted to be with him, and I wanted to feel him hold me. I wanted to feel him forgive me. And of course, I tried to take it to another level, but it wasn't happening. It was not happening. And I can see you.
I keep forgetting. That.
Right. I can see you right in there. I'm looking right
They
at you.
forgive me. They get it.
And but I can remember waking up in the morning and thinking, "Wow, I just slept in the same bed with Lee." And
Which should have never happened as far as I was concerned. I just didn't understand why I had the need to want to be next to her. After all, it was almost like something in me got switched, like you had found the switch. But was it that she found the switch, or was it that I found the switch? Because it felt like I wanted to be able to trust her. Because even during this time of all of everything that we went through, I was still waking up. And even when she was telling me about the dream she was having, I was keeping quiet about what was really going on with me, which was a deeper place of peace. I'm not really sure.
Let's not forget this. Let's not forget he went to work, and I was going through a calendar. I forget what we were doing. And I said, "What is this place that you're going to visit?" And he said, "What?" I said, "You have a visit. You're going to visit this place." Where? What? You said, "Oh, yeah, I was going to go visit. That's where this girl lives." And I said, "What? What? Wait a minute. He had it in the calendar that he was going to visit there."
Oh,
And I was devastated, to say the least.
Yeah.
Because you'd had a history with this girl, and it was, I guess, I had no right to be hurt because of what I had done to you, but I didn't know that, while I was out sleeping in Ron's truck, that you were downstairs Skyping or talking to this other woman.
Well, my life had moved on.
Right. And it was completely devastating to me, but I couldn't find it in me to dwell on it. I couldn't find it in me to keep bashing him over it. I was just like, oh, okay, so are you going? And he's like, no, I'm not going. And that to me made me wonder, well, why isn't he going? And at that point, I was like, okay, something's going on between us, and I don't know what it is. And we started spending time together. We started walking together and taking Cameron to the park and spending time when you got off work together and watching movies, and we resumed sleeping together.
Well, we resumed talking and then the sleeping.
Well, yeah.
Not really much sleep, but I mean, the point is that.
Did you say not much?
What I'm saying is yeah. But it was really strange because it really wasn't. If I stayed in my head and one part of it, I didn't want to have nothing to do with her. I didn't trust her. I didn't want to be around her. I didn't want. But in here, I still felt everything. I still knew where home was. And I knew she was my home. And as much as it was really uncomfortable for me to try to see her in a different light. It was really, and it wasn't just all glamour and glitz. There were knockdown, drag out fights. I mean, because I was still hurt. I felt betrayed. But the betrayal and everything that I started to feel, and in my dreams, I started seeing how my mind was working in this whole process and how I had conditions, to how I told you that it was unconditional. Then I started questioning why I would tell you something and then make it something else. It was really completely different compared to anything I'd experienced because I was seeing what I knew I didn't want to become because I was going to go right back down into a different path again. I was going to go back down into a path where I would be constantly, just Mike.
Stop. Thank you.
So I was going down an entirely different path where
I'll get it.
I didn't want to.
Mike.
He's good.
Okay.
I didn't want to.
It's nothing really going on. He's chewing up Cameron's first toy. I've got this.
Okay. The adventures of Big Mike continue.
Stop.
He should have his own video all to himself. And someday, when he's done being a producer, he will star in his own movie.
Got it. Saved it. Cameron's.
Yes. So, what I was saying is I knew that I didn't want to be the kind of man that really didn't have empathy, the kind of man who really didn't listen, the kind of man who. What was happening to me during this period of time is I was starting to figure out who I was not, which was more important than knowing who you are, because you limit yourself one way and the other way you don't. Did you?
Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
Did you just
really?
Did you just get up there and? No, that was not nice.
Come on, Mike.
Where? Go
away.
Go lay down.
You're giving.
You just.
He did. He did. He drank all that water. He had to belch. I don't get it.
In your face.
Right.
So, I hope you guys enjoy those.
Welcome to our world.
Routine moments where, okay, he's not here.
He's not. Nobody saw that.
All right.
It didn't happen.
And if you keep rewinding it and playing it, don't do it.
It didn't happen.
It never should happen.
Finish the story.
So, what was happening to me during that time was I figured out, like I said, the most fundamental thing I still stand within even now. I know who I'm not, which leaves a whole open space for everything else.
Then came the court date. We got court papers in the mail for the money for the checks that I had written.
Mm.
And I said, you know what? I'm not going to let you go down for this. I'm not. You didn't do this, and I will go with you, and I will stand up with you in front of the judge, and I will take full responsibility for this. And
On that,
uh-huh.
That's what really made me fall even deeper in love with her. She didn't have to do that. And why was she doing it? So, not only what I felt in the connection was becoming even more permanent, it was expanding. See, we're here for only a limited time, and we experience love in one certain way. And even during that time, there's conditions that are there. In this moment, she was helping me see that I didn't need to have conditions on her. So she did just
We
that.
went to court, and we went together. And when he called Lee's name, I stood up with him, and the judge asked me who I was, and I told him. And I told him that Lee didn't know those checks were written. He didn't know anything about it, that I had written them, and I was responsible. So the judge took Lee's name off the judgment completely. And we honestly don't know what happened from then, because he took Lee's name off the judgment, but I checked a million times and my name's not on a judgment anywhere.
So I get an email because she dropped everything. And I was just dumbfounded because we went through all of that and experienced all of that, which was, I'm telling you, it doesn't happen to everybody, but this person had a wonderful heart, and they must have been able to see that we were truly just trying to live beyond what we were supposed to. Mm-hmm. But not only that, it was amazing. Mm. And I mean, I think you really learned a valuable lesson in this whole moment.
Yeah. But then, so I'm going to add this, so when it comes out later, it kind of lets them know. At this point in time, in my life, in our life, here we are again, and we are back together, and I started to find myself going in two directions, which will make sense later. But the one direction was, what the hell is it going on with this guy? Why is this connection so strong? Why can't we be apart? Why can't I not feel him? Why can't I not be connected to him? So he was working during the day, and I was staying home with Cameron while everybody in the place went to work. And two things were happening to me. I was looking up things to find out why this connection was so strong. And I was finding literature, and I was finding blogs, and I was finding videos on twin flames. And I was doing some research. And then, on the other hand, I was doing some odd jobs for a company and finding people who had skipped out on their bill and locating people, and I was doing that. And there was another thing that was happening within me. There was something that was evil and vindictive and revengeful in me. And it had everything to do with my stepfather and the way I was raised. And I was molested and repeatedly raped and tortured. And at that point in time, and I don't know why it happened at that point in time, because it had happened before, and I had acted on it, and then I just kind of let it go and got rid of it. But it was coming back up, and I felt something in me that wanted to torture and belittle every male human being, except for Lee, which I ended up torturing the most. But
She's not kidding.
Yeah, that was happening with me. I was mad. I was mad at men. I was mad at the male species, and I wanted to get back to them, at them.
But you're all probably wondering, right? Wait, there's something that's missing here. This was in 2011. There's something that we need to bring up at this time. In 2011, the end of 2011 was the birth of Relationship Reinvented.
Yeah, it was. And
that's where we really started
looking at twin flame things.
No, I didn't. You didn't show that to me because
I didn't want to freak you out.
I looked at it and I went, I didn't want to
freak him out.
No. I mean, no.
Yeah.
This is something I don't. The name didn't even match what I was feeling. I mean, it did, but it didn't. Because what I felt is that she was waiting till I went to work, then pulled out the voodoo doll, and then was like sticking me all day long, so I would do nothing but think about her. So she was a witch.
There it is again. Disclaimer. I don't have time for all these disclaimers.
So anyway,
if you're a witch, we have nothing against witches. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm just saying.
Anyway,
we love our witch friends.
I thought, okay, with all of the things that have been going on with me, this would be a great place to really start talking to people and seeing what other people out there are experiencing. So we joined
and relationships.
Yeah, but we started Relationship Reinvented, but we were actually at that time, we were under, I don't even remember I think we were Sherry Lee, or Lee Sherry.
I don't know, but we decided that we'd been through so much in life that we could help other people with their relationships.
Well, we did.
And we did.
And we went on there, and it was almost like every night that we would come home, we would spend some time together. We would watch a movie, or we would go for a walk, or we would do different things. But then we started really venturing out there and talking to different people. And it was really interesting because we started following a different message board, or a Facebook group. And we jumped in and we would talk to different people in these Facebook groups. And it was really interesting because you'd go, oh, look at what they said. And then it was the strangest thing. I don't even know what happened to me at that point, but I just would write. And then people would just... I don't know what it is about some of the things that come out of my mouth sometimes.
Oh, but I do. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But what I do know is that when I feel certain energy in me, and then all of a sudden, next thing I know, something else is speaking. Something that doesn't even have a place in my mind, some place that doesn't even have a place in a book. Or maybe, I don't even know how to word it, but what I do know is that whatever comes out of me, comes out. And usually what I see...
That's what I call alien.
Yeah.
It is. I call it alien. Because sometimes people look at you and go, what the hell did you just say? And then I have to translate it into human.
You know what's interesting about when you don't translate it?
They get it anyway?
It sits with them.
Yeah.
And they come back. Yeah. And they, then I said, okay, well, so I went to a different blog site and I started writing. And you started writing.
I did start writing.
We started writing back and forth. I think it was, I don't even remember.
We were writing emails too, a lot of emails back and forth.
Yeah.
We
And
were.
we were really doing a lot more writing, but we were also realizing that there was something more prominent trying to make its way through.
I was
Something more.
looking up twin flame stuff. You didn't know it at this point.
No,
I was looking up twin flame stuff and going, wait a minute.
I was secretly looking up witches. I was reading books. You know what? I even started watching some Bewitched because I really wanted to know. Okay, it doesn't make sense that I'm at work. I can hear the music they're playing, and then I would go, "Why do I feel turned on?" And you can all guess, but I'm telling you, it was crazy. I don't know
Should
what.
have left me alone. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on. I was looking up twin flame stuff. I had run across a lot of confusing information, a lot of conflicting information, some videos. Um, we reached out to some people.
Oh, we reached out to a lot of people, and it was
Re-
very interesting the feedback we were getting. And I'm going,
we didn't get back a lot of feedback.
well, they just. It's like when they would read what I would say, they just got quiet, and then they would friend us. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, there must be something to this. And I think at that point we had I think probably coming into towards the end of 2011. Well, actually, let's take that back. Probably in the fall of 2011, we probably had 134 members in our group, but we were very big. We were talking in a very big group
Right.
of about 9,000 people, and we were just every once in a while we'd just go in there and just start talking according to whatever post they had. And most of the posts had a lot to do with the relationships that they were in. You know, my husband cheated, my wife cheated, this and that, and it was back and forth and back and forth. And at this point, with all of the deep.
I can remember when I first approached you with the twin flame dynamic. And you said, I mean, let me look at it, but I don't think I'm buying into it. And I said, okay, I mean, I don't think you need to. I don't want you to buy into anything. And I set you down and had you watch a couple of videos that was on YouTube. And
Then I saw that one.
yeah.
And it was by Gold Ray Twin Flames.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched and I listened, and I was struck, almost like I was struck by several lightning strikes. And then the dreams got stronger because now I had witnessed somebody telling me exactly what I was experiencing and went, okay. So what really started to really kind of resonate with me was that, okay,
there's something to this.
There's something to this whole twin flame thing. But in my dreams, I'm being told, stop doing that.
Both
stop.
of us.
And it was really strange because
searching.
At this point,
stop searching is what we kept hearing in our dreams. Stop seeking. Stop
what this is.
seeking. And I was like, well, wait a minute. We're onto something here. There's other people out here who feel what we feel, who have this connection. We're not batshit crazy like everybody thinks we are, or that we think we are. We're not losing our minds. And
no, we lost our minds.
oh yeah, that was the most important part. But we lost them on
purpose.
Yeah, that was the most important part, was losing our minds. However, there was a point in time when I'm thinking, I'm going completely insane. There's absolutely nothing to this. And then I'm finding things on, and then I ran across a particular blog. I can't for the life of me ever remember whose blog it was. If I ever do, I'll give you a shout out because it was wonderful. But it was pretty spot on to what was going on with us. And I read and read and read and read and would send bits and pieces of it to Lee, and we started to reach out to.
We reached out to a couple people.
We reached out to a couple people.
Let's not jump too far ahead, because that was actually later. There's a whole lot more that actually happened in between there. As we came into the fall of 2011, we decided that we were going to get another place.
Another house.
So we started looking, and we found.
We had so much fun house hunting.
This time. It wasn't beyond our means. It was
a beautiful home.
Comfortable. We I knew that, okay, no matter what, we can do this. I got this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make this happen. And it was just big enough, and it was perfect. And I
It was
knew
very
that.
similar to the other home without the pool and the hot
Well,
tub
it
and
did.
stuff.
We
But
didn't. I didn't want a pool.
we're
Do I
getting a
look like
pool.
I need sun to you?
We're getting a pool. Moving on.
But the cool thing
I'm
was
a
is
pool
that
person. I
we,
need sun. Look at me.
of course, my brother looks at me and goes, "You're fucking nuts," which and of course, her ex-husband looks at me and says, "You're fucking nuts," and then I'm looking at her and she's going, "We're nuts." So I'm like, "Fuck it, let's do it." So we
did.
end up getting everything out of storage and
Moving day.
moving there. At this point,
Yeah.
everybody who had found out anything about the destruction that is now looking at us like we're, of course, batshit crazy.
That we're back together. That you're even talking to me.
I think it was mind-blowing to them because they are all human. And what we had just really didn't... We knew that it just wasn't something that was normal. Now,
This was a pivotal moment.
This was a pivotal moment. But I want to say this before we stop this. What we had learned during that whole thing, and even into us having to be in just a confined space after a period of time, is that this connection was not going to let us disconnect no matter what.
Right.
And even with what had happened, you would think that you wouldn't love somebody more, you wouldn't trust. But now I felt every more reason to trust and love her more. I was now seeing the faces I had in ego. Now, I think if you've never ventured relationship reinvented, I can tell you what I was writing about the dissection of what goes on in here is not who you are. When this stops, it'll be the end of illusion, because this has helped create so much of an illusion to anything that you can even determine when it comes to love. Love is very powerful. And in this connection, expect to have your inside out, thrown up in the air, dropped in a vat of acid, ran over by a dump truck, poured gasoline on it.
Bulldozed.
Then you start throwing the matches. So...
By the way, we did go back into the pub. I took him back into the pub.
Yes, she did.
I took him in there. Yes, I did.
Everybody's like, "Hi, Lee."
You're the guy? You're Lee?
Yeah, hi.
Hey, what's up? And we started going every Tuesday.
Yes, you know what it was like?
It was amazing.
It was like Cheers, because we'd walk in and instead of hearing Norm, there was Sherry.
There's Lee. It wasn't like that at all. They love you.
No, after a period of time, I started to become Cliff Clavin, Norm Peterson.
We had fun, but we spent some time every Tuesday night. We would go in and talk to her.
Yeah.
And she would say, "I just can't believe this. You guys are so fun."
But that kind of leads into one thing before we go ahead and stop this video.
We moved into the new home. She
Well,
was so excited.
Oh,
we were
it was so
together.
wonderful.
It was
But here's the thing.
amazing. We were back together.
Energy had done what it was supposed to bring us back
Lovebirds
together.
flew around our heads.
Energy did what it did to bring us back together. But I didn't know the darkness that was coming. I just didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Christmas time's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Next episode.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.